Here's exactly how I ate out pretty much every single day last month and still managed to come back from my holiday even leaner than I was at the start. I was in better shape when I left Thailand when I actually went to Thailand in the first place. And I'm going to break down my exact approach and some of the steps that I recommend that you also can take when it comes to staying in great shape and enjoying your holiday at the same time, or your travel, or any time that you're kind of spending away from home. Now, the first thing that I did, which is one of my biggest hacks that I give to a lot of people, especially at FitLab, is I implemented fasting. Now, this is an extremely effective method when it comes to not only fat loss, but maintenance as well. Just by setting a very simple rule of just delaying that first meal by a few hours, it can make a massive difference when it comes to looking and feeling your best. Now, I probably fast 80% of the year because I find it so effective. I find that I work better in the morning. I don't get hungry. I train well fasted. And this is something that I implemented when I was in Thailand, just having the first half of the day where I wasn't consuming food. Now, I didn't track my calories when I was away. Didn't feel like I needed to. Just by setting this very simple rule, it meant that portion control and food balance was a lot easier to be able to manage. So quite simply, all I did was when I woke up in the morning, which was still fairly early, around 6, 7 o'clock, I'd get up, I'd drink lots of water, I'd maybe do some exercise, and I'd just sip on water and have a few coffees during the morning. There were a few times where occasionally I'd get maybe a little bit of an urge to eat, nothing too crazy, nothing that wasn't manageable, but I just kept to that rule, I kept focused, and I didn't once really break my fast that early when it came to that. And then what I would do is I would go and train, and then I would typically have my first meal about lunchtime, about 12 o'clock, and then I'd eat after that for the rest of the day. So that is a very simple hack when it comes to you being a busy professional that travels a lot, or being someone that's going on holiday a lot and quite frequently and wants to kind of know how you can get away with staying in awesome shape while still having a great time. And I think unless you're a real breakfast person and you feel like you really need to have breakfast, either have a very small breakfast or just fast and push your meals back to the second part of the day, where typically you're probably going to be eating bigger meals anyway, especially in the evening time. So it just makes sense to be able to fast. Number 2, simple hack, is make sure you try and stay as active as possible. Try and keep your output super high. This is something that I made sure, again, that I was doing every single day. I used my Oura Ring to track my step count, and I made sure that I was consistently hitting over 10,000 steps every single day. Sometimes more than that, sometimes 12, but always at least 10. Now, I didn't even find this particularly challenging. You know, most of the time I'd get up in the morning, I'd go for a fairly long walk, or I'd go for a run, and that normally clocked most of my steps up already just in the first half of the day. But you want to try and get as many steps in as possible, especially when you're traveling, you're in a nice place and you can see the city, you can see where you are, and you can essentially just burn calories whilst enjoying the travel and being in a different place at the same time. So it's easy. Go for a walk, do your steps. It makes a massive difference. To give context, like a 80 to 90 kilo guy that were to get around 10,000 steps in per day, you're going to potentially burn an extra 500 calories from just your movement. So it's worthwhile trying to be as active as possible. Then into cardio. So I was doing a fairly decent amount of cardio when I was away, and a simple hack. You want to go on holiday and not gain any weight and make it very difficult, do cardio. Like, do 30 to 60 minutes of cardio a day. That might seem like quite a lot, but it will massively help you when it comes to enjoying more food. Now, I would make sure that I was doing something active first thing in the morning, whether that was going for a run, 5K, 10K, or potentially I'd go for a walk up a hill. We were fortunate to be up a massive hill, so some of the walking I was doing was like walking on an inclined treadmill. Like, my heart rate was genuinely going very high, and that was great when it came to walking and doing cardio at slightly less intensity of actually running. Some days I would literally just do a balcony workout and just do some sort of bodyweight AMRAP, which again was great for burning calories and just getting active in the morning and just having that initial part of the day that was there towards creating a higher output. And then on to the last bit in terms of weight training. So pretty much every single day I was lifting weights. Some days, obviously, I would take a bit of a rest, but even on those days, I'd normally do like abs or arms or something that was obviously less demanding, because I just found that this was great structure to my day as well. I enjoyed it. Like, I like going to the gym anyway. So, and I'm talking 45 minutes. Like, we weren't doing long sessions. You might be thinking, oh, well, I don't want to train on holiday. I want to enjoy myself. 45 minutes, and that's literally it. Nothing more than that. We were smashing the gym. We were hitting weights hard. And by building muscle and at least protecting muscle, you burn more calories anyway. So instead of trying to do lots of cardio and not do weights, if you just lift weights and consistently do that, you're going to keep your metabolism firing super high. The more calories that you burn at rest, well, guess what? You're going to be able to eat more food anyway. So that just makes sense, which leads me nicely onto the next point anyway. Now, I am fortunate enough that I've been training for a long time, like 10, 12 years in the game of lifting weights, which plays to my advantage because I have got a high metabolism. Like, I burn a lot of calories from doing absolutely nothing. And sit here and I'm still burning calories because the more muscle you have, the more calories you burn. So realistically, if you don't have that much muscle at the moment, you need to spend time building muscle, because then you're going to be able to go away and travel and do whatever you want and still maintain a good body composition and still not gain any weight. So you need to focus on building muscle, spend time in a gaining phase, in a calorie surplus, adding pounds and pounds to your physique. I think most guys need to add around 20 to 30 pounds of muscle to really reach their physique goals and get the benefits of a high metabolism and making it a lot easier to stay in shape. So yes, I'm fortunate enough I can go away and be in that position, but that's because I've put years of work in to get my metabolism firing, making fat loss and fat maintenance an absolute walk in the park. Number 4, very simply, don't be a dickhead. That's an easy, simple tip to give you. You don't need to go away and binge on alcohol, on binge on ice cream, on binge on having meals out on pizzas and burgers. We don't need to do these things. And if you do these things, it's probably because you're restricting way too much in your usual diet that you're trying to follow, which has probably been so hard to follow that you go away and you're like, I want to hate whatever I want. I've been so restrictive. You just have a balanced approach. You can eat these foods all year round anyway. So when you go away, you don't feel the need to eat like a dickhead and gain loads of weight and just binge and be sat there with a really bloated stomach because you've eaten too much food and eaten too much bread. Whatever it is, don't need to do that. Have high standards when you go away. It's not about going away and just smashing loads of food. You can eat nice food, but you also need to make sure that you look after your health, you look after the physique that you've worked hard to achieve. That's important at the same time. So try and practice moderation, and don't be a dickhead. And the last, and I think the most important tip, is always turn up. Even when you don't want to, keep that routine and that structure that you've built. Now, this is something that I managed and really worked hard on achieving. Now, I went out when I was in Thailand. I drank, I had some very late nights. I'll be completely honest. Like, I'm not here to lie to you. Like, I want to show you guys that I have a very balanced lifestyle. I enjoy doing nice things whilst obviously looking and feeling my best all the time. So essentially, there were some days where I woke up and I didn't want to go and do exercise. Like, I didn't want to eat the right foods. Like, I didn't want to do the thing that I knew that I needed to do, but I did it anyway. And every single time when I had these late nights, I always made sure that I did something first thing. I went for a run, I went to the gym. It grounded me. And sometimes this is literally off like a few hours sleep, like 3-4 hours sleep. I just get up and go for a run. I was like, I have to do this. And instantly that put me back into control. It got my healthy habits going again. I started eating the right food and I'd remain in control. And I think doing that and being consistent, and as I say, doing things when you don't want to do them, even when you're on holiday, even when you're traveling, is the most important thing. But if we let ourselves down and we start breaking our promises, that's when things spiral out of control and you're going to start eating what you want and not training and just ultimately going down one road. So you have to make sure that you constantly show up, turn up, do the thing that you said that you're going to do, and keep that structure and keep that routine, even on the days where you don't feel like it. And that's pretty much it, guys. You follow these tips when you go away, anytime you go away, anytime you go on holiday, anytime you're away from home. I absolutely guarantee that you won't only just maintain your weight and just maintain it and not gain any weight, you will end up looking better and come back in even better shape than when you went, which is going to make all your friends and your family very jealous. Probably make them think, how did they do on that holiday to be able to look like the way they are? You can actually enjoy eating healthy, eating different fruits, eating different vegetables, eating fresh foods from the places that you're in, the meat, organic, all that kind of stuff, and end up looking better. So follow these tips. Holidays aren't there to just go away and binge and come back and look terrible and have to start again. We build a lifestyle when we embark on a journey like fitness, and we take it with us all the time. Hope you found this video useful. Make sure you subscribe if you have, and make sure you hit the bell notification so you're notified every time I post, and I will catch you in the next video.